Hello and welcome to the Mansfield Town Shirts YouTube channel. Are Mansfield Town about to ditch Castore? As of recording this video, nothing official has been announced, but there are a lot of rumours circling around the future of Mansfield Town and the relationship with Castore. In this video, we're going to look at the history between Mansfield and Castore throughout the last couple of seasons, as well as who are about to take their place. Let's get into the video. Let's take a look at what we know then. We know that the club are in a potentially 5-year deal with Castore. That is what we have been told. Starting in 23-24, so we are 2 seasons into that deal already. Despite only being 2 years into a multi-year deal, there have already been a plethora of issues linked with Castore and their shirts so far. We'll talk about the broken promises as well, the promises of a new club shop, for example, that there seems to be a little bit of movement on as we speak, but I feel like that's probably not linked to Castore, as you'll probably see later on in this video. And one thing we do know for a fact is that the youth team, as you can see, have already been given area kit for the 25-26 season. Interesting. Let's go back then to where this all started. At the end of the 22-23 season, the club announced that they were to leave the deal with Surridge. Surridge had been our kit manufacturer for 10 seasons. That's a long time for a kit deal. They'd done it ever since we got promoted back into the EFL from our first season in 2013-14 all the way through. And it was announced then that we would be joining Castore. Now, Surridge had done some fantastic shirts, some of which you can see on screen now. They'd done some absolutely superb kits for us and were much loved by the club. Because we'd had them for 10 years. Every shirt in the EFL since we got promoted back out of the National League had been Surridge. So there was some real fan favourites in there. But I think a lot of people, and myself included, felt that it was time for a change. And that Castore, being the sponsors of a number of other big clubs as well as other sports, were maybe the right people to take us forward. So on the 6th of April 2023, we had the announcement that you can see here that Mansfield Town pleased to announce a new multi-year partnership, which we believe could be 5 years, from sportswear brand Castore as the club's official teamwear and retail partner. It talks here about a bespoke range of playing kits. It says that they will oversee the club's retail operation, which we believe is the club shop. Now, that club shop has not been developed at all until probably the last month, so we have a feeling that may not be Castore's doing, but we'll find out, I guess, in due course. It also talks about the online retail site. David Sharp, who was the chief exec at the time, who we think brokered the deal, talks about he was delighted to have them on board. They also put some comments in about Mansfield Town down the bottom, similar goals, etc. And they also talk here about home, away and third kits. We'll talk about this a little bit later. I don't think Mansfield Town really ever need a third kit. We wear amber, yellow, whatever, and the away kit would turn out to be red. There are no clubs. I don't think Bradford's a clash with the red, and I don't think Mansfield Town really need a third kit, especially if it's going to be every season. But we'll get to that later. And then the motto of "Better Never Stops." Interesting for Castore. So yeah, that was announced, and I think there was a lot of optimism at the time about that deal. Certainly personally, I thought it was going to be something that would hopefully improve us and our kits for the following season. Then it all started to go a little bit wrong. We had the kit leak photos taken clearly in somebody's living room by the looks of it. This one, how this managed to get out, I'm unsure, but there's a photo well before the kits were announced. Home shirt you can see there, and the image is terrible. Someone's taken that. It's a really bad photo. The colours you can't really tell, and it looks a little bit bland, and it didn't get a good reception. Only slightly worse reception was the away kit, which actually was my favourite of the lot, but it didn't go down well. The pattern isn't seen very well on this picture. Again, the quality of the picture is pretty poor. A lot of the fans didn't like red. We'll talk about it a bit later on. I've no issue with red. And then the third kit leak, which was taken in the club shop, again from a distance away. People didn't like the green and the blue, and blue with Chesterfield and all this sort of stuff that was going off. But it was managed really badly. There was obviously a batch sent to the club. Somebody's got their hands on them. Someone's took pictures of them. And it got us off to a pretty poor start with Castore. I do just want to say a massive thank you to those who've supported the video so far. Thank you very much to all the subscribers. We're nearly at 500 subscribers as of recording this, which is incredible to say we were on 200 just a couple of weeks ago. Really appreciate your support on the new Mansfield Town content. That's not just about shirts, it's about the club as a whole. So I really, really appreciate all the likes, the comments, the subscribers, and even just people who are watching the videos. So a massive thanks for that. If you could like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. So click the button down below, and also in the description there's some other Mansfield Town content that you might not have seen, so give that a watch as well. But really, really massive thank you to everybody who's enjoying the content. So here are the three kits. You have the home kit here, which looks, as you can see, it looks a lot better than the leaked photo, doesn't it? It looks miles better. So the home kit here, we had the away one, which again looks so much better than the leaked photos, and actually featured quite a nice pattern. Actually, I don't think Castore did a bad job with this shirt. So this was a nice shirt, and then here's the third shirt, which again actually has grown on me quite a lot. But this was the third shirt, and again up close looks actually a lot better than the leaked photos. I think most people kind of agreed with that when they actually got their hands on the shirts themselves. So bad leak, but eventually when they came out, I don't think anyone was too massively disappointed. There was still a bit of a disappointment, the fact that the club had three kits, and we've spoke about that. There's really no need when the club playing amber. The fact that these were going to be an annual release, it was also disappointing. That the fact that we were going to have 3 new kits every season, it seemed like was a massive thing. Mansfield Town before, certainly under storage for the last 10 years prior to this, had the same shirt for 2 consecutive seasons and alternated that with the away shirt. So the home shirt would be there for 2 seasons, then you'd have a new away shirt the following season. It would rotate. The fact that the club were potentially going to have 3 new outfield player shirts and 3 new goalkeeper shirts every season was a bit of a bitter pill to swallow for the Stags fans, especially considering how it had gone for the last 10 years before that. My personal bugbear with Castore at the time was that they never promoted the Stags. They promoted every other club that they seemed to work with on their social media, but there was no post really about Mansfield, and nothing as the kits were individually released throughout pre-season. Absolutely nothing. So kind of showed you where Mansfield were in the pecking order at Castore. Then it started going downhill. People started getting hold of the shirts, washing them and complaining that things were falling off. A lot of people were saying, oh, you've washed it wrong or you've ironed it wrong. But that simply wasn't the case. These shirts were falling to pieces. The little Castore black little logo at the bottom was falling off. People's badges were falling off. The sponsor was falling off. And that was only to get worse when the players started to wear them. And I think the best example of where things were going wrong for the players and their shirts was against Notts County, live on Sky, away from home, at Meadow Lane, local rivals. It was a 12:30 kickoff. So it was local derby, and it was on Sky in front of the whole country. And things were just falling off the shirts mid-game. I mean, the best example being Aidan Flint, as you can see here in this photo. It's just fallen off. The patch is fallen off the arms. The sponsor is coming off. And this is that shirt. You can see here, the patch. See where it was. It's no longer there. At the sponsor, the letter E is still falling off as it was on the day. I mean, it's an incredible shirt to have. The S and the U has fell off insurance, so that's completely gone. And it's a terrible example. You know, the patches you can see on the back, that is starting to come off here as well, and stuff just wasn't adhering to the shirts. As you can see, Flint on the back there. All the shirts had the sponsor on the rear falling off. Interestingly, the names and numbers never seemed to fall off. But everything else was fair game. It was just falling off the shirts left, right and centre. And at Notts County, Lucas Akins had part of his sponsor missing. Aidan Flint's sponsor was coming off. And it was a really embarrassing look for both the club and for Castore. And a quick Google will show you as well that Mansfield Town were by no means the only club to have these issues. You've got the shirt at Wolverhampton Wanderers that you can see here that just rips easily. You can see here that Castore have put the badge on upside down. You've got the ripping issue again at Newcastle here and at Feyenoord. And then you've got the badge peeling off here, you can see on the left at Bayer Leverkusen. You've got the Aston Villa kit issue where the kit was like a wet look and it was just no good. We've got sponsors falling off, and then there again you've got the Bayer Leverkusen badge falling off. So all in all, it was not a good look for Castore. A lot of that was forgotten though, as the club ended the season with promotion back to League One for the first time since 2002. An incredible achievement, and the Castore issue kind of got forgotten about, at least for a few months anyway. In May then 2024, so at the start of last season, they launched the new home kit that you can see here, which, albeit admittedly could have been had a little bit more blue in, it was reasonably well received, I think. I think the fans generally liked it. It's disappointment again that it was going to be 3 new kits. So this was the home shirt, and then there was an away and a third as well. So bit of mixed feelings, I guess, from the club. Like the new shirt, but disappointed again that we were going to have to fork out for, if you want the goalkeeper shirt, 6 new kits. To Castor's credit, the training gear is lovely stuff. So the one I've got now, it's a player's hoodie, and the player's training gear, the travelling gear, is really, really nice. Initially, a lot of it was limited, so it wasn't really on sale. By the time they got going, actually stuck stuff on for sale. I think people generally liked it, and I certainly like Castori's training gear. Certainly the tops better than what we'd had before. And that's, one positive that I do want to say about Castor, is that their training gear was really, really nice. Another point to credit Castor with is that the shirts this season, I have not seen the same issues. We've not had patches falling off. We've not had sponsors falling off. So the issue that they clearly had with the material and things sticking to them have gone away. And this season, I've not seen any examples of things falling off shirts where they shouldn't do. And as the season progressed, rumours started to spread that the club could be after a new supplier. John and Carolyn, the owners, during an event that they had early in the season, mentioned that they were potentially trying to get out of the deal due to issues with broken promises on the club shop and also around the quality of the merchandise and the kits themselves. So no surprise really that those rumours started to circle, and that brings us exactly to where we are now at the end of the 24-25 season. So you can see here that the club's youth team have been issued with area gear for the next season, 25-26. Never in the club's history before have, other than maybe at the start of the season, the club had another manufacturer's kit, certainly not issued to them as new. So that's kind of where we pick up on these rumours. We've had area before, and we'll delve into that a little bit now. So we have had area before for a number of seasons while we were in the National League, culminating in our promotion in 2012-2013, wearing this kit, which is Matt Green's top goal scorer. But this is an incredible shirt, one of our favourites. I know the season kind of dictated that it would be a great shirt, but we've got the collar, which I absolutely love. The 2 vertical stripes here, brilliant. And the away kit from that season was even better. And they have long sleeves as well, area, which is fantastic. Fantastic news for kit nerds like myself. But yeah, brilliant shirt, this one from Area. That's from the same season. And then one of my personal favourites, we've got this shirt from 2010, which again is Area. A really nice design, something a little bit different. Not something we'd really seen before at the time. They were certainly more out there than what we'd had previously. We'd gone through a bit of a boring stage with kits, and Area sort of brought a little bit of life back into what the club wore. I thought it might be interesting actually to take a look at some kits that Area have been doing in recent seasons. So you've got Crawley's here from last season, and that's a lovely kit. It's the away kit as well. It's a really, really, really nice kit, that one. Love the design, love the Area design on there, and the colours as well. The third shirt, I know we've talked about not having a third shirt, but if you're crawling, you wear red and white, chances are you're going to need a third shirt. So, but again, same design, but that's a lovely, lovely pattern on there. We've got Millwall's third shirt here from this season, and then their home shirt. I mean, this is a lovely design with the collar, the subtle pattern on it as well. They're really nice shirts. And then Sheffield United, we've got their away shirt from last season. Again, Area, love that design, love the colour pattern. And probably the best of the lot is the third shirt from this season. I mean, that's an incredible shirt, isn't it, that one? A brilliant design. Love the collar as well. Love the bespoke pattern on it. That's an absolutely cracking shirt. So we've seen what Area can do. The Stags actually asked to see what we could do as fans, and they asked us to design a kit for 25-26 in partnership with Castor, of course. So I did submit a design, which you can see in the picture here. I assume that's now gone out the window though. So yeah, I don't think anyone, but certainly not me, I don't think anyone's going to win that competition, are they? Whatever direction we do decide to go in as a club will of course be documented on the website. If you've never had a chance to check it out, it's mansfieldtownshirts.co.uk. It's a website that I've created that goes through every kit that the club's worn in massive detail. So you can see here last season's kits there. We can go all the way back and look at the Area kits. We talked about the one here we've just talked about. So you've got all the Area kits here. So these, of course, the new kits will be documented on here, but it also includes any variations we've worn, third kits, goalkeeper kits here, and it also includes a game-by-game guide of what was worn. So if you haven't had a chance to check it out, link will be in the description, mansfieldtownshirts.co.uk, and we absolutely will be putting a new kit in detail, whether it be Castore, Area, or anyone else, for example. That's all for this video, and we will stay tuned to see whether Mansfield Town do change their kit supplier. I think something may be coming out very shortly, but we'll keep our eyes peeled for that. Thank you very much for your support so far as well. It's been incredible. The amount of subscribers, views, likes, comments, it's been amazing to see. So thank you very much for your support so far. If you haven't already liked the video, please click the little button at the bottom of the video, as well as subscribing if you already haven't, and click the little notification bell that will tell you every time we upload on the channel. So that all leaves me to just say thank you very much for watching. We have a lot of content planned over the off-season, into pre-season, and then, of course, in the 25-26 League One campaign. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.